We find ourselves in Montreal, Canada this week for the Canadian Grand Prix. My name is Nick and I'm joined by the one and only, the star of the Switchback Formula Racing League Notebook series. It's my man Van Rocco. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for asking.
Excellent. Alright, so we're in Canada today. A few little changes from last week. So if you were with us last week, you would have seen that we had a few issues in terms of qualifying and the lobby that went up. So usually we do full qualifying. This week it will be a short qualifying session, the 18 minutes. So quite a few issues last week, and I think it was definitely the right call to go to a short qualifying this week. So fingers crossed we don't get any issues this week like we did last week. So speaking of last week, let's have a quick look at some of the results. So it was Dace who took pole, and he is racing today. So Mark of Kenya is not qualifying today. He's got a qualifying ban, as does Exotic. So both of those guys won't leave the pits during qualifying at this stage. Race winner was Honesy. It was quite a good performance from Honesy, very dominating performance. Then it was Dommy Lee, who qualified P6, but was able to take home P2, and then Kachow in P3 as well. So not a bad race from everyone. A couple of DNFs. Ted Wardo and Kelly Robb was taken out by Exotic on the last turn, so he crashed out. And then Ted Wardo, I didn't see what happened to Ted Wardo. So in terms of championship positions, just as we're following Kachow on his outlap, championship positions, it's Honesy in P1, 205 points. He's 49 points clear of Stein, who's currently 156 points in second position. And then it's Kachow, who's on screen now, 125 points. He's only 3 points ahead of Dommy Lee, so those two have been battling it out for the majority of the season on 122. Cornet in 5th. Stuart Little in 6th, who's not racing today. Then we've got Toss on 64 in P7. P8's Kelly Robb. He's 1 point ahead of Tiny Darspike in P9 on 55 points. And then Exotic on 53. And Mark of Kenya on 51 as well. So that makes up most of the full-time drivers. And then there's the rest. So Canada, a little bit about the track. 14-turn circuit. 35 laps tonight. 4.35 kilometres in length. Probably expecting around the 108s to get pole. Would that be fair, Van Rocco? You reckon the 108s?
I'm going to say mid to low 108. Time trial times. Look, I think Dommy did a 108 flat, pretty much, give or take a couple of hundredths.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm expecting a low 18.
I would think so.
Just about to cross the line. Let's see what the benchmark is.
He sets 108.5. Yeah, so that's a pretty quick lap for his first one. Who we got here? Henry Rogers. Henry Rogers has he's invalidated his lap. That's all right. So Stu 86. Yeah, he dropped out last week, Stu. So he goes second. Delta Lima's up there as well. What about Tiny Darspike? He's just beginning his lap at the moment. I've got to say, Toss has invalidated his lap. Kelly Robb's beginning his out lap at the moment. So I'll try and catch up with them all. And we'll see how we go. I think Stein is... okay, so he's starting his lap now. We'll stay on board with him. So yeah, Stein, been a very consistent qualifier. And a consistent racer as well. So he's scored points in every race that he's raced so far. Only driver to have raced in every race and scored points in every race. So I think Dommy Lee and Tiny Darspike have scored points in most other races, except they've had a couple of DNFs. So Stein, Mr. Consistency. So he's just coming around the right-hander hairpin at the moment. we'll see.
Cali Rob just invalidated his lap.
Yeah, he's just coming around the hairpin now as well. So we're waiting for Stein. So it's a 108.5 by Kachow is the benchmark as we see him almost scrape the wall of champions there. And he goes P2 with a 108.7. So that's P2 for Stein. As you said, yeah, Van Rocco. Sorry, not Van Rocco. Van Rocco did say Cali Rob has invalidated his lap. What about Yurtis? So last week, Yurtis scored his first point of the season. So fantastic to see him get a point last week as well. He came home in P10. So let's see.
Driver of the day to boot as well.
And driver of the day, yes, spot on. So congratulations to him to scoring his first point last week. We'll see how he goes today in Canada. So he's just coming around turn 13 and 14 now. And he goes a 109.5. So it's good enough for P4 at the moment. So that's a pretty decent time. What about Toss the Caber? So he's invalidated his lap again. So it is strict corner cutting this week as well. So it was voted in the Discord for strict. Not working out for Toss at the moment. What is Cali Rob on a fast lap? Looking like it, yeah. Alright, so he's coming up the casino straight at the moment. Through 13, 14. Heads on the front straight. And he goes a 109.2. So, it's good enough for...
That was close.
Yeah, that was very close. Didn't cause any damage there. So, yeah, 109.2. Good enough for P4. We've got just over 11 minutes left in this qualifying session.
And he's just about to start his flying lap on a set of mediums.
Oh, yeah. It's been a bit of a regular strategy for him. Set a banker lap on mediums and then usually goes onto the soft. So soft.
Breaking point in turn 1.
Yep.
Not a great start to the lap.
You follow him. I'll follow Dommy Lee, who looks like he might have a new helmet this week by the looks of things. So, did you end up getting the weather report, Van Rocco?
Yes.
Yep.
Overcast but dry in both sessions.
Fantastic. Excellent, excellent. All right, so we've got Dommy Lee. He's setting his first fast time. Here he goes. Oh, we've got Viet joining us as well. 108.6. So, good time from Dommy Lee. Goes P2 at the moment. So, that was a nice time. How's Honesy's lap been going, Van Rocco? I've got him on the screen now.
Pretty smooth from, apart from turn 1 and turn 2.
Okay.
The rest of it's been pretty decent. So, let's see what he does here. He does stay out. He's going to complete the lap. Oh, does touch the wall.
109.4.
And a 109.4.
Yeah.
It's still pretty competitive on the medium tyre.
Yeah.
Second off.
Yeah.
About right.
Most definitely very competitive on the medium tyre there. All right. What about Ted Wardo? How's Ted Wardo going? Oh, Stuart Little's joined as well. We've got a few 109.7. So that's good enough for P9. So we might end up getting a full grid here. By the looks of things, we've had a couple of extra people join, but we'll focus on the guys in the session at the moment as we're approaching the halfway mark of this short qualifying session. Henry Rogers, who recently changed his username to just Rogers, but it's Henry Rogers. It was confirmed for me during the week.
Delta nearly dropped it on the exit of 2.
I was about to say, how's your mate Delta Lima going?
Yeah, I just clicked on him and he was going around turn 2 and nearly dropped it, bless him.
Ooh.
So I think he's going to have to abandon this one and try again.
Alright, well we'll keep on board with him for the moment. Or actually, Ted Wardo. Alright, so looks like Ted Wardo's going on another hot lap at the moment. He's currently P10, 109.7. No, he is not, he's going in. Alright, cool. Stu, we're on board with him. He's invalidated his lap, so he'll have to go again. Let's go back to Delta Lima as he's heading up the casino straight. No, he's pulling out of that one. Alright, so you did say that's what he was going to do, so He's done that. Oh yeah, so Stuart Little has joined us. So in the Mercedes, he'll have enough time to set a time as well.
And let's hope the qualifying glitch doesn't affect him though. If you join in the qualifying, no matter what time you set, it does throw you to the back of the grid on most occasions.
That is a very, very good point. Yes, true. Alright, so where are we? This is Toss. So he's up the back straight at the moment. He's yet to set a time. Him and Stuart Little, as well as Dace, as well, yet to set times. But he hits the wall of champions. All right. So he bumps off the wall there. He's still able to cross the line, finish his lap, finishes in P5, so a 108.8. So good work from Toss the Caber there. Didn't look like he got too much damage. So that was good for him. We're on board with Dace, just coming through that 6 and 7. Wall of Champions. Funny thing about the Wall of Champions is that obviously what happened in 99, it was Schumacher, Hill and Villeneuve. The other person that no one ever mentions on that day was another champion. As we see Dace TG, he invalidates his lap as we're on board with Stuart Little. There was also another champion that hit it that day, was Ricardo Zonta. He was the FIA World GT champ as well. So
you know, I did read that stat, but I didn't read it out because I forgot. I didn't realise he was an actual champion.
There you go. I did my read.
I saw Hill with Schumacher and Villeneuve, and I saw Zonta, and I was like, yeah, I knew he was a Formula 1 driver at some point, but I didn't class him as a champion. I was only going for champion.
Well, he was definitely no F1 champion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As we see Tiny Darspike coming around the hairpin turn there, so he's in P6 at the moment. He looked like he was half a second up, so he's looking good. He can't seem to quite crack the top 5 in the race. He's sort of, it seems like he's eternally in P6 and 7, but he gets pretty close to the World Champions as well. He comes across the line, he sets a 108.4, so that's good enough for P2. So good result from Tiny Darspike, the North American, Indiana I think he's from. So just jumped across north of the border. Looks like Zandvoort's joined too, so I'm pretty confident we might have a full grid here today.
Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah, we've got 19 at the moment, so we're waiting on one more. That might be Zandvoort. I saw Viet in there as well earlier. But Stuart Little...
He's taking out the same medium tyres again. He's on a hot lap. He's half a second up.
Okay, so him and Delta Lima are the only two on the mediums at the moment. Let's see what Stuart Little's got. So he will... It doesn't matter where he's qualified, because where he's coming late into the lobby, he will start P20 anyway. But he sets a 109.2, so that's good enough for P7 at the moment. Tiny Darspike, he's on the
go. P5, 108.8 on his medium tyres, 2 lap old.
He's looking good, Honesy, our championship leader at the moment. Yurtis is on another hot lap. He's in P10. So it's just under 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. It's round 13 of season 3 of the Nemesis Racing League. We're coming down to the business end of the season. We've got 2 races left after this one. As we see Yurtis hit the line, he doesn't improve. He does improve his time slightly, but not good enough to get past Stuart Little there. Oh yeah, and so Zandvoort has joined us in the Renault. Alright, fantastic. So that's a full grid. We've got 20. Stu can't improve his time. He still stays down in P12. Will Ans, I think Will Ans joined us as well. So he's in the McLaren. He's in the pits at the moment. So is Exotic. He won't be coming out of the pits. He's got his qualifying ban. Just having a look for everyone else. What about Kelly Robb? Where is he? He's coming up the Casino Straight. He's going into the pits. So a few guys probably just getting their last runs sorted. In terms of, tyres though, it was only... Honesy set his laps on the mediums by the looks of things. Zandvoort might be going out on the mediums as well. So we'll just have to wait and see for him. Alright. right, so this
Stu's just going down the casino straight now.
Yeah, so they set a purple sector 2. So we'll see what he can... he's currently P12 with a 109.7. Gets a nice run through 13 and 14 there. Short run to the line, goes a 109.3. So that's good enough for P10 at the moment for Stu in the Haas. As we see Will Ans, is that Will Ans or is that's Henry Rogers just coming out of the pits there? What about Dace? So Dace is yet to set a time. Last week's pole sitter on the one-shot qualifying format that we had last week due to the issues with the server. Speaking of the server's held up very, very well so far today. Rides those curbs, gets a nice run out. And he goes P13 with a 109.6. Okay, so not too bad from Dace. I see a Red Bull out there. That's Dommy Lee. He's in P3 at the moment, but he's on his out lap. Delta Lima's pitted. All right, so the
track could be a flurry of activity. I can hear engines starting up, so they're all going to head out now.
Yeah, I was going to say the track's a little bit quiet at the moment, so I'd expect that to change imminently. All right. Cool. So while we're doing that, let's maybe just talk a little bit about the track. So first race 1978, longest race ever was 2011. So it was 4 hours, 4 minutes and 39 seconds. So I think we
watched every single minute of that
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah,
all right, that's
absolutely loved that race.
Oh dear, the time zone's not very good for Australia, so I think I woke up early enough I caught the last part of it, which is very rare for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's usually on a date where it's a public holiday in Australia, so it falls on a good... Yeah, so I think I remember woke up early and I was like, why is it still on? So as we see, Dommy Lee goes up by 3/10, but yeah, the Englishman, Jenson Button, won that day won that race in the rain affected 2011 running of the Grand Prix. We've got just under a minute left. Dommy Lee trying to get the toe from the Haas up the casino straight. Comes through turn 13, 14. Oh, he does clip the wall there on the exit. Is he able to just bounce off it? Goes a 108.1 or 108.187. He's 6,000ths behind Kachow for pole. So Dommy Lee looking very good at the moment. Now is this Dace? Yeah, this is Dace coming up the back straight. So he's nearly second up on his best time. He's 8/10ths up. So that would put him close to sort of P6, P7. So we'll see what he can do.
Unfortunately, is out of qualifying. He was getting out of the way of a couple of the drivers down the casino.
Yeah.
And going a bit too slow through the wall of champions, but I think he missed his turning point. Oh, now he's spun it. And he invalidated this and next lap, so he's unfortunately out.
Okay. Stu has finished his run, so he's invalidated his lap. Is it one? No, it's not one. It's Toss the Caber is coming up. So he's currently P8 at the moment. Can he improve his time? We can, but not enough to move up. So he'll start in P8. Will Ans has finished his run. So Henry Rogers goes to P3. So nice finish to the session by Henry Rogers. Stein comes across the line.
Stein is 2.5 up. What's he going to set now?
Oh, P3. So a nice lap from the Dutchman. I was just trying to look for a Ferrari there, but okay, so one, he is not going to make a good time with that, so we'll move on from him. This is Daisy. I see he's going again. All right, I'm just trying to catch the rest of the runners. Looks like everyone has just about finished. I believe so, yeah. So I think that is it. So it looks like our pole sitter is going to be Kachow by 6,000ths of a second. So a 108.181 to Dommy Lee's 108.187. So extremely tight at the top. And then if you have a look at P3, a 108.422 compared to a 108.432 from Henry Rogers. Good result from Tiny Darthspike. So I think that is his best qualifying session of the season. Yeah, his previous best was 6th. So good for him. And then we'll cover the rest off. So I sort of got a little bit lost.
Has Tommy Lee ever had a pole position yet?
This season?
I think.
No, he hasn't. No, best is second. Yeah, so he's had 2/3.
6,000 off his first pole. That's a shame.
Yeah, he's had a second and 2/3. So, all right. So Henry Rogers, Tiny Darthspike, Dace, Honesy, Toss the Caber, Callie Robb, Stuart Little, then Stu, Yurtis, Juan, Ted Wardo, Sam Spaniel, Delta Lima, Will Anns, Exotic, Mark of Kenya, and Zandvoort. So Will Anns, Exotic, Mark of Kenya, and Zandvoort didn't set a time. They came in a little bit late. Exotic and Mark of Kenya had a qualifying ban anyway, so they were never going to set a time. So we'll see how that all works out down the bottom there. But what did you think of that qualifying session?
Typical Canada on strict. Lots of invalidated laps. Lots of drivers, I think, possibly being a bit scared to push too hard.
Yep.
And just getting banker laps in.
Yeah, it's
just getting a time on the board.
Yeah, it's a quite a challenging circuit as well in terms of it's just very it's quite relentless in terms of, like, it's a short lap. It's 68, 60, 70 seconds long. It's quite relentless with those walls very close. So we saw a few drivers bounce off the wall of champions there as well. So we'll see how that pans out for the race. So it looks like Honesy qualified on the mediums as well. Who else? That was the only one. So our championship leader, he's down in P7. The two guys that are fighting out for P3, P4 have qualified on the front row, and Stein, who's in P2 in the championship, he's in P3 for this race. So from a championship perspective, that's looking good. We didn't touch on the constructors, did we? I can't remember. It's Ferrari on 229, AlphaTauri on 204, then Red Bull is 181 in P3, and in P4 it's Williams on 180. So it's pretty tight for P3, P4, and then it's 122 for Mercedes, 118 for Renault, 104 for McLaren, then it's Alfa Romeo, Racing Point, and Haas bringing up the rear. So we'll wait for everyone to get started.
Tyre starters. We've got Will starting on the mediums, Exotic on the mediums, and Juan on the mediums, along with Honesy, who qualified on the mediums.
Beautiful. Yep. So I see that on the screen at the moment. So we'll medium pit stop strategy around here. You're looking at probably a 2-stopper, soft, medium. Expecting the soft runners probably looking at about between 9 to 12 laps. You'd want to run the soft for mediums between 12 to 15. And then your hards 20 to 23. So you can go with the soft, medium, or in the case of the medium runners, you'd be looking at a medium, hard. So we'd expect the soft runners to pit around about that lap 9, lap 10, and then the medium runners to pit in around about lap 12. Would expect them in lap 12 or 13. So we'll see how the two strategies pan out, but it's definitely going to be a 2-stopper. It's 35 laps. Definitely going to need a 2-stop strategy. So that should hopefully sort of make things a little bit exciting. I dare say penalties will play quite a significant role today. I know in the Switchback Racing League we've got a lot of predictions around penalties, and that Wall of Champions we'll see who it will claim today. It surely will claim someone. So it looks like everyone...
It's definitely going to be a safety car, because I've heard Honesy and Kachow, they race in tough TUF, and they managed to do a 1-stop medium hard work.
Oh, yep.
And they actually think Honesy won the race, I think, in tough. doing the medium hard, but there was a safety car. So if there is a safety car for the medium runners, they could possibly make a one-stop work. But I don't think it's fast necessarily. It's not. I think it's actually faster to do a two-stop, run those soft tyres.
Yeah, well, we're going to see there is a high propensity for safety cars here. There were 6 in that 2011 race, so we'll see. But this league, though, isn't really a league that has had safety cars. I think there's probably been 2 all season. We've had a few virtual safety cars in there, but yeah, we haven't seen too many safety cars in this league at all. So, all right, so it looks like they're all on the grid. It's a pretty short warm-up lap.
I'll do my usual and I'll focus on the back.
Yep, and I'll
see what carnage happens at the back.
Yeah, I will make sure I've got everything on. Excellent. All right, so looks like we've got a good camera angle as well. So we're about to get started. All right, so Season 3, Round 13, Nemesis Racing League, Canada. It's 5 lights. Oh, lights go out. Let's go racing. So it looks like Kachau's got a pretty good start there. Oh, he's got an excellent start. So he's gone into P1 at the moment. So it's Kachau, it's Stein. There's a McLaren in there. There was Tiny Darspike as well. Looks like the Ferrari's gotten through. Bit of movement at the back, but everyone seems to have made it through. Cool, I saw a McLaren going across the grass there through turn 4 and 5. But it seems like everyone has made it away cleanly.
Victory leaderboard again.
Yep, but hasn't glitched out on mine yet. So looks like Toss the Caber has taken Dace. Oh, Dace and Henry Rogers going at it. That was coming out of turn 8.
And Stu's joined that party as well.
He has indeed.
Oh, he makes the move stick. Conesy is just behind as well.
Beautiful. So
good move from Stu there. Very optimistic.
Yeah. And that's what you got to do on the opening laps. He doesn't have any more of his ERS left, so he's used all of that. Henry Rogers can't make a move up the inside there, so he stays in that position. He's P8 at the moment. Ted Wardo and Juan battling it out. Mark of Kenya's already made up a bunch of positions as well. Let's have a quick look. So Mark of Kenya's made up 4 spots already. Will Ans has made up 3. Delta Lima and Exotic have dropped 4. And we've got Toss the Caber's made up 3 spots as well. So we've got some movers and shakers in the league, in the race so far. Let's get back to the battle. So it's Domi Lee out in front at the moment from Kachau. It's Stein in P3, Tiny Darspike P4, Toss the Caber, Dace, Henry Rogers, Stu, Honesy, and Yurtis make up our top 10. Just outside the top 10 at the moment is Kelly Robb. So he had the DNF last week, so he'll be wanting to try and make up for what happened in China, as we're seeing Stuart Little and Will Ans battling it out there. So Will get ducking into the slipstream. Stuart Little, as they go up the Casino Straight, pulling out now, so he might try and make a move into turn 13, 14 up the inside. No, he doesn't. So Stuart Little runs wide through the chicane. Yeah. Had a big brake lock up going into there, and Will has managed to get past him. Zandvoort's trying to get in on the action as well. Will just receives a 3-second time penalty, so our first penalty of the day goes to Will Ans. Oh, as we see Zandvoort and Stuart Little banging wheels. What were you going to say?
A quick look on the race director. Dace has got 2 warnings already as well, so he could be the next one to get a time penalty.
Brilliant. Thank you for keeping us informed there. All right, so the pack is still very, very tight at the moment, which is good from a spectator's point of view. Maybe not so good for the racing, but it's it's Domi Lee leading Kachau by 8/10 at the moment. Stein is a further 1.6 seconds behind Kachau at the moment, as we're watching Kelly Robb and Mark of Kenya. This will be a good battle. This is 2 relatively fast guys. Mark of Kenya known for his charges up through the field, so he's currently P12 at the moment, as we see the Stu in the Huss pull out. Oh, he makes contact. Oh, he made contact with Kelly Robb as he came through there.
And Juan as well. Juan got barged into the wall.
Alright, doesn't look like there's too much damage there though, so doesn't seem to have oh yep, so Stu's got a broken front wing. Oh, and he's turned around. Oh, he's almost turned around there. He's come across it. Oh, like he's ghosted out there. Alright, so he lost it all through turn 1 and 2 there. So he's dropped to the back of the field. A little bit of chaos there from that pack at the back there.
The time penalties are coming thick and fast as well. So we've now got Dace, Will, Exotic and Stu with 3 seconds.
Yeah, so there's 4 of them so far. We're only lap 4 of 35. I expect the laps to fly by pretty quickly. In terms of it is a very short lap, so one of the faster races on the calendar. The gap out in front is down to just over 6/10 at the moment between Dommy Lee and Kachow, so I'll keep an eye on that. Tiny Dark Spikes just received a time penalty. He's in P4 at the moment as we're watching. Dace has his DRS wide open there. Henry Rogers giving chase. Honesy in the other Ferrari, he's P8 at the moment. Alright, so we've kind of
a charge from Honesy. Towards the end of the race. I think if he can just stick here at the minute.
Yeah, I think he will
have a charge at the end.
Yeah, he'll be content just to stick there and bide his time, and then he'll choose his moment to strike. So we're lap 5 of 35. Looks like Stu has retired from the session. So we've got a first DNF runner of the session. That's Stu who's dropped out. Alright, where are we? So, Mark of Kenya, he's battling it out with one. We're coming up to the hairpin turn, and he takes that for position. So, he moves up into P12, Mark of Kenya. So, he's trying to make his way up the field, trying to get into some points there. Didn't score points last week. Kelly Robb and Yurtis. So, good to see Yurtis having another good race. So he's P9 at the moment. I know it's very early days, but it'd be good to see him score points again. The only other full-time driver not to score a point so far this season is Juan. He's in P13 in the Alfa Romeo, so we'll cheer him on to see if he can get a point today as well. As we see Tosta Caber having another solid race. He's P5 at the moment. Just in front of this little group of cars here. This is Dace that we're on board with currently. That gap out in front has stretched to a second now, so it's a second difference between Dommy Lee and Kachow. We'll see if we can get to those guys shortly, but I just want to keep on board with the action as we see Henry Rogers looking to make a move around the outside of the hairpin. He's going to cut under here across Dace. So he'll give chase up the casino straight. He'll get the DRS. And so does Dace. But it looks like, yeah, Henry Rogers is going to be able to get it done. Yeah, he does. So he's able to hold that position through the final 2 turns. Gets a little bit of oversteer through there, yeah. But he's able to recover it. So he moves into P6 at the moment. So we'll be expecting the soft runners in the next couple of laps for their pit stops.
Dace loses traction. I think his soft tyres are starting to go.
Yeah, well, we're lap 7 at the moment, so they're well within the window, or the window is pretty much, yeah, another couple of laps. So they'll need to stretch them out to make their strategy work.
Sam Spaniel's already pulled the trigger, and he is in the pit, just leaving the pit lane now.
Yep. Oh, we've got a crash. We've got a crash. Sorry, we've got a crash. So it's Kelly Robb. Kelly Robb, that is around turn 6 and 7. So he looks like he might have some front wing damage. So I just saw him dropping down the field there. So I'm not too sure what's happened. He's had a collision with someone there. I think he was around Mark of Kenya and Zandvoort. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the...
just overtaken Dommy, but Dommy Lee... Yeah, Kachow's done Dommy Lee.
Oh, yeah, through the last turn.
Dommy Lee is now fighting back.
Yeah, I've got him on the screen now. Kachow had the DRS as well up the front, little front straight there. We've got pitters, we've got pit stops happening as well. So we've got Stein, we've got Toss the Caber and Dace TG are all pitting. It's lap 8 they're pitting on as well. So not being able to stretch it out too far. But those mediums, they last 12 to 15 laps. So they should be all right with that. All right, so good battle at the front there. Zandvoort's moved up. All right, is it glitching out? It kind of is. We'll wait for it to resettle. But unfortunately, yeah, Kelly Robbs had an incident 2 races in a row. As we see Henry Rogers and Tiny Darspikes. This is for P3, P4 at the moment. So Henry Rogers having another strong performance. He's joined us in the...
He's heading down Casino Straight. He's got the DRS. It's going to be on Kachow at the... No, he's not. He's just a bit too far back. They're still not pitting.
Yeah, so they're able to use those tyres. They're able to get the best out of those tyres at the moment. I think Zandvoort might be retiring. I'm not too sure. Okay, so we've got some more people pitting. So Tiny Darspike's pitted, as well as Henry Rogers. So it's going to be a battle of the pit stops at the moment. So Tiny Darspike's able to hold his position there. Oh, who was that? So Toss the Caber's received multiple warnings as well. So Juan is in P8 at the moment. So he's having a strong performance. Who's this? So Mark of Kenya, he's yet to pit. He's on the back of Ted Wardo, who's having a good race. He's up into P4 at the moment. So it's lap 9, so I'd expect to see a few more runners coming in to the pits at the end of this lap. We've got, I think we've got 8 people already with time penalties. Toss, Dace, Tiny Darspike, Henry Rogers, Exotic, Will Ends, Juan, and Ted Wardo, who we see on screen at the moment. And we'll see if Mark of Kenya... Oh, he's getting very, very close there to Ted Wardo. Let's see if he can get a run up the back straight here. Gets the DRS wide open. He's got... Oh, he didn't have it. Oh, Ted Wardo's pitting as well. So the leaders are pitted. So it looks like Dommy Lee is going to come out in front of Kachow, will he? No, Kachow is in front. Alright, so it's still Kachow from Dommy Lee. Interesting pit lane here, so being very careful not to... Oh no, who was that? That was Mark of Kenya. So Mark of Kenya went around, I think that was turn 2. So does he have any damage? He was on a bit of a charge through the field.
He's got a right wing end plate missing.
Oh, and he's having a lot of difficulties with that car at the moment. Those tyres are definitely at the end of their lifespan as well. So, alright, so bad luck for Mark of Kenya there. He was on a bit of a charge through the field. But in the meantime, the medium runners of Honesy and Exotic are leading the race. So it's Honesy, Exotic, Will Ans, then we see a... who's that? The Alpha Romeo. Oh no, Toss and Stewart get caught up at the hairpin turn heading onto the Casino Straight. So it seemed like it was a bit of a strong disagreement between both of them of who had the corner. And yeah, it was. It's ended up with Toss losing out there. Stuart Little was able to continue on. So was Toss, but he got the worst of it in the end there. So bad result for Toss the Caber. He moves down into P12 at the moment as we see Yurtis and Mark of Kenya both pitting. So just having a look at stops so far. Everyone's stopped except Stuart Little, Juan, Willans and Honesy, as well as Exotic and Zandvoort at the moment. So Dommy Lee, what's happened to Dommy Lee? Because Kachow has moved up into P2 at the moment. So he's been in really, really good form lately, Kachow. So it's not surprising to see him moving through the field. But yeah, he's overtaken Exotic pretty easily. And Dommy Lee's looking...
Dommy Lee's going to do Exotic.
So we might even see just Exotic move across for him. No. He's going to fight for position as he's entitled to. Yeah. This is for position. Well. Yep. But Dommy Lee's able to get done.
And he's going to have to run. He might have to run, Dommy Lee.
As we
it's
see,
not quite a long enough straight, this one, is it? The pitch
nah, even with the DRS, it doesn't really do too much. But as we see, Will Ans, he's in P5 at the moment, so he takes Exotic through turn 2. So nice move from Will Ans to take P4 as Kachau receives a time penalty. All right, so that could be very telling come the end of the race. One's pitted 2. So Domi Lee doesn't have a time penalty at the moment. Honesy gets a time penalty. So everyone's getting time penalties at the moment. So we've only got, 2, 4, 5 drivers without. 7 drivers without. So over half the field has already received a time penalty at the moment.
It looks like Domi Lee has 2 warnings. Domi Lee's got 2 warnings, so he's 1 away, so he could be joining Kachau very shortly.
Yep. Looks like Toss the Caber and Stuart Little battling it out at the hairpin again. He does have the run. Beautiful. So through the final turn. So Domi Lee's got some good pace there. Kachau doesn't have any. No, Kachau doesn't have any damage on his car. So he's good to go. Neither does Domi Lee. So Domi Lee without penalty at the moment. He does have the 2 warnings. But we'll have to see if he can keep it that way. If he can, it's going to be a big advantage for him come the end of the race. So this is Stein. He's P2 in the championship at the moment. He's currently battling it out with Will Ans. This is for P4 and 5. Sam Spaniel picks up another time penalty as well, as we see Stein run a little bit wide there through, I think that was coming out of turn 3. Alright, so we've kind of settled down again after the excitement of the beginning of the race and then the first round of pit stops. But it's Honesy who's yet to pit. We're at 13 to 15. So he is, he hasn't stopped as yet. He's in the window though, as we're on board with Stein. So he takes Will Ans. So nice move into he picks up a 3-second time penalty for his efforts. So he cut the corner. We're on strict corner cutting today, but he takes P4 at the moment. So there's 1, 2.
A race where Tiny Dartspike doesn't get his points. He's currently sitting with 14 seconds worth of time penalties.
Oh wow! All right.
He's in P8.
He's going to break the streak today, possibly. There's a lot of people with penalties though, so it's going to be very interesting at the end of the race to see how it all evolves and turns out. The guys without the penalties, there's only 3 of them left. It's Domi Lee, Stuart Little, and Kelly Robb. Oh, and Zandvoort. Sorry, I missed out on Zandvoort there. But Henry Rogers is having a cracking little battle here with Exotic. This is P8, P9. He's going to look to go, down the at the hairpin turn. Around the outside is the long way to go. You can get a little bit squeezed through there sometimes, but he's managed to get that done without any issues. So he moves up into P8. So Exotic is sort of dropping down at the moment after his pit stop. I see Dace looking to have a go at Will Ans through the final turn there as well. As we're on lap 15 to 35. This is round 13 of 15 of the Nemesis Racing League Season 3. So the season is coming to an end. The championship leader is in front at the moment. So that's Honesy in P1. Domi Lee, who's in P4 in the championship, is P2. And Kachau is P3 with Stein P4. Will Ans, Dace, Tiny Dartspike, Henry Rogers, Exotic, and Toss the Caber. Oh, as we see, Dace is able to get past Will Ans there. And Tiny Dartspike's able to sneak through. And finally, Domi Lee has received his time penalty as well. So, as we see Tiny Dartspike getting a little bit of oversteer coming out of turn 8 and 9 there. Will Ans is able to stick by him coming into the hairpin. Oh, Henry Rogers! What a move by Henry Rogers on his McLaren teammate. Wow, that was out of nowhere. That was like when you're watching those nature documentaries and you see a zebra standing there, you're like, something bad's going to happen. He just lunged at him. Will's going to
do the same to him at the wall. Will's doing the same back to him.
Will Ans coming back. Wow. Oh, Henry Rogers picked up a 3-second time penalty in the midst of all of that as well. What a move by Henry Rogers. Can he get it into turn one? He does. Gets it pulled up nicely. Wow. Nice move from the McLaren driver. Loving it.
So Exotic is going to have to pit very soon because his tyres must be, like you say, he's dropping back and he's still not stopped yet.
Yes.
He is, his tyres are going to be feeling very, very warm. You can see it on his exits of every corner.
Yeah.
His back just wants to go.
Wouldn't be. Oh, yeah, he just lost the front wing end plate on the left-hand side. So, and he almost hits the wall again at turn 8 too. So, his car's not going to be feeling very nice now because of that. Honesy, though, he's still staying out. So, he's still out at the moment. Let's see if he pits. No, he keeps going. He's going to one-stopper.
The medium hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Medium hard.
All right, so pit lane time is 23 seconds. Now these guys have gone onto the mediums. They pitted around lap 7 or 8, I believe. So they will be probably around about lap 21 around there. And it's Exotic. It's finally pitted as well. Only at 1, so he's in this little train here at the moment, headed by Sam Spaniel. Yeah, so they'll probably come in around about lap 21 again. So if Honesy can stretch it out and pit with them, this is going to be very interesting.
Goes around the outside of
yeah,
one.
So
that was a good move.
That was a very nice move. It's a tight little group of cars here with. Who's involved here as well? Mark Kenya, Kelly, Rob, Will
Where did
Ernst.
he come from?
I was on board with him. So even though he's got the
Sam Spaniel.
Yeah, so even though he's got the damaged, he's pitted. So he's recently pitted to replace his front wing. Okay. Yeah, so I was going to say we'll see how the strategy plays out with Honesy, how long he's going to go, because the other guys will still need to pit. Again,
a lot of time now, isn't he? He's lost a second and a half on that lap alone.
Yeah, it's down to 1.3 and dropping.
But Tommy Lee's got to make the pass.
Oh no, we've got a yellow flag here, sector 1. So this was at turn 1, turn 2. So Tiny Darspike and Henry Rogers were involved there. So they've had it coming together. Just trying to check for damage at the moment. Looks like Tiny Darspike doesn't have any damage. Henry Rogers has lost a front wing end plate, and that has opened up the door for Toss the K-Bar. So he's right on the back of Henry Rogers at the moment. So it's imminent that he'll pass for P7 at the moment. So he goes around the outside at turn 8. So yeah, Henry Rogers is definitely going to have to pit. That's disappointing for him because he's been having a really good race. He's given us some entertainment, that's for sure. But he's definitely going to have to pit with. He's got no end plates at all. So he's lost out with the battle between him and Tiny Darspike. And yeah, so Honesy's taken by Kachow.
I think Honesy let Kachow go because I saw Kachow give him a little wave down the pit straight.
Yeah, I saw that weaving there as well. So nice work from Honesy. He's playing the long game at the moment. So it's Dommy Lee who's back in P1 at the moment. As we see, I wonder if that Zandvoort is ghosted out by the looks of it. It is, yeah. Henry Rogers there has gone into the pit to replace that wing. And we see Exotic set the fastest lap with a 1:11.2. So we're at 19 of 35. It's Dommy Lee and Kachow out in front from Honesy, Stein. So the top four...
goes around the outside of Juan, and Juan's off, exit the pit lane.
Oh no.
There wasn't a coming together, I think he just lost it on the exit, fighting with Cali on the curb.
Disappointing for Juan, so the Colombian I believe he is. Alright. So the top 4 in the championship are P1, 2, 3 and 4. In the race at the moment, so this is going to make it interesting, especially for Dommy Lee and Kachow, who are very, very tight in the championship, and the constructors as well. And we see Kachow trying to go around the outside of turn 1. He'll get the inside line for turn 2, which is optimal, and he does. So Kachow he gets a snap of oversteer there. Does that open up the door for Dommy Lee? Squeezes him out.
Pushing him out, yeah.
All right, so good hard racing between those two. So Kachau's managed to keep the lead. So it's Kachau who's moved into P1 from Domi Lee. Stein and Honesy are going at it as well. So Stein's able to move past Honesy. So I dare say those medium tyres will be feeling towards the end of their lifespan at the moment. Domi Lee's trying to have a go back now at Kachau. So he's got to run on into the hairpin turn. Looked to go up the inside, but thinks better of it. He's able to do it in the end. We'll see what sort of run he gets. He's got the DRS on. He's got the DRS open. And he's able to move right past Kachau and take the lead back. So, nice driving from these two, battling it out for the lead. They will need to pit again, though. So, we'll see if they do pit with each other, or if one, they have alternating strategies, but we'll wait for that.
This fighting is good for Honesy as well. If they're fighting each other, losing
who's just pitted?
Time.
Sorry to interrupt, Van Rocco. Yeah, Honesy's just pitted, so he's finally pitted from those. He's going to the softs. He can't make them. He can't make them last all the way to the end. No way. So, mate, would he do a medium soft? That's
maybe. Yeah.
Interesting strategy.
He's got to now. He's got 14 laps left, so 7 laps each on these soft tyres.
Yeah.
Get as much out of them as he possibly can.
Well, the other two have to pit as well. Maybe he's banking on a safety car too. So a safety car would definitely throw a cat amongst the pigeons there. We'll have to wait and see. So he's come out in P10 at the moment. If he was to remain there and Domi Lee and Kachau were to remain in there, well, the top 3 were to remain, that would spice up the championship a lot at the moment. So long way to go. Still got 14 laps of this 35 lap race to go, and more pit stops to happen. So plenty more action to be played out in this one, round 13.
As well, that Domi Lee is better in the first stint on the tyres. In the first half of the stint, he's better. And Kachau is better at managing those tyres. So Kachau obviously just sitting there, biding his time, and then using that tyre thing, because he's such a good tyre management driver. He's able to nurse those tyres and then get the most out of them in the second half of the stint. Which is both occasions he's put Domi under pressure towards the end of the stint, hasn't he, before the pit stop phase. Yeah,
and he is, and you're right, he is an excellent manager of the tyres as well, Kachau. So very smooth operator. So is Domi Lee though. So as you would have seen on his hot lap for Switchback, if you haven't seen that, jump on the Notebook, hosted by my man Van Rocco, who's on commentary with us today. We saw him do a 108 almost flat, pretty much around there. So he's very smooth driver. He's won a couple of races as well this season. So is Kachau. So two very, very evenly matched drivers here. And Stein, just the quiet achiever. We don't really see too much of him. He's always up there. He's always consistently in the top sort of 5 or 6 drivers in the qualifying, then in the race as well. And as I mentioned earlier on the stream, he's someone who's finished in the points every single race. He had the cracking win round 1 in Australia in the wet there. So very consistent, solid driver. All the 3 guys at the front. Speaking of consistency, Tiny Darspike, as we see Tosta Caber, he pits. So the second round of pit stops might be kicking off now. Would make sense. Going on to the medium. So he's going to come out in P10 by the look of it, in front of Mark of Kenya. All right. Drivers without a penalty. Callie Robb, Stuart Little and Zandvoort. That's it. Oh, and Yurtis by the look of it. Hang on, I'll wait. But because he's in the pit.
3 seconds.
There you go. Yeah, all right. So 3 drivers without penalty. So congratulations to those drivers. Everyone else has received penalties today with the strict corner cutting. Okay, so just out at front, it's Kachau. He's still 6/10, and Stein as well.
Brought up to that pack there, isn't he? He's waiting for the opportunity to see if he's sat there. He's going to pounce.
Okay, so Yeah, just back to Stein as well. So he's had a really good season. He's had his average qualifying position 6.4. He's had pole once. He's appeared in Q3 9 times, and his race results have been solid. He's had a podium 4, 5, 6 times. 6 podiums. So he's extremely consistent. I think the only other guy to have as many podiums, if not more, would be Honesy, our championship leader, as we're watching. Kachow heading up the back straight. He's got the DRS open. He doesn't have ERS. Doesn't need it, though, by the look of it. Oh, they're both pitting. All right, so they're both... Oh, Dommy Lee, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ah... So that's going to have a big effect on him.
This is why I don't understand, because pit assist is enabled in this league. I really don't understand why they don't just leave it on to stop these penalties.
Yeah.
It's there to use it.
So Dommy Lee has 8 seconds worth of penalties. Kachow has 3 seconds worth. Tiny Darspike 14. Dace has 12. Henry Rogers has 9, Sam Spaniel 1. They all have 9 as well. So yeah, that's a lot of time. 14 seconds and 12 seconds. We're going to have to wait until the race finishes to see how it works out for everyone. In the meantime, Stein has inherited the lead, so we'll see if he pits. Honesy's up into P5 at the moment, so he will need to pit again. We'll see just when he will pit.
Yellow flag. It's a Mercedes.
In Sector 2, yep. Just Stein pits. All right. So let's see. So he's 12 seconds. Pit lane time is 23 seconds from entry, pit, and exit. Where's Dommy Lee? Here's Dommy Lee and Kachow are just coming around the final turn. Tiny Darspike is pitting as well. He gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits as well. So Stein is exiting now.
Eduardo's just done Rogers down the pit straight.
Stein's going on to the softs. So, and Kachow and Dommy Lee went on to the softs as well. So they've gone the soft, medium, soft strategy.
Just picked up another 3-second time penalty, so there's 2 seconds in it now between them.
Yeah, so Dommy Lee with the 8-second time penalty, Kachow with 6 seconds. Stein only has 3. Honesy only has 6. Dace has 12. Toss 6. Will Ann 6. Ted Wardo 3. Henry Rogers 9. Alright, we'll get back to that later. Where are we? So Henry Rogers. So let's have a look at pit stops. So drivers still yet to pit for their second stop is Will Ann's, Honesy. Let's see if what do you reckon? Do you reckon Honesy's going to go to the end?
You physically can't, can you? You can't, can you? I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me, because Honesy is a bit of an alien on his controller.
Well, he's done 5 laps on those soft tyres so far. 6 laps now. I am going to put my neck out and say, I don't know if this is really going too far out on a limb. I reckon Honesy's not pitting again. I think he's going to go to the end. Tiny Darspike picks up another 3-second time penalty. So that just adds to his collection already. About 14 seconds, I think, at last check. I think Honesy's going through to the end. I just don't see that strategy working, though, because the other two have already pitted. He's going to have to pit again, isn't he? Yeah, he's going to have to.
He's going to end up in no man's land at this point.
He'd want to pit soon too, to actually give him a chance to claw it back at the moment, because if he stays out too long, he's just going to have to do a quick one.
Sorry, he's 8 seconds. He's 8 seconds behind the leader. That's my
yeah. It's hard to work it out, but so he's got no battery left as he's coming up the casino straight. Is he going to pit? No, he's going to go around again. All right. So I just can't see if he's not going to pit again. Those tyres are going to feel rubbish towards the end. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But in the meantime, it's Dommy Lee from Kachow Delta Lima picks up another time penalty. We only have 2 left without penalties. That's Stuart Little and Zandvoort, but I think Zandvoort's ghosted out. I think, maybe, no?
Yeah, I think he's...
Oh, yeah, I think he is. Yeah, he is ghosted out. All right. Yep, so the only real driver left, human driver, is not Dommy Lee, is Stuart Little without a penalty. So we'll see if he can... Do you know how many warnings he has, Van Rocco?
I will have a look. See how far away he is. Let's jinx him.
we don't mean it, Stuart Little. We're not doing it on purpose. Mark Kenya sets the fastest lap, 110.4.
Wow, okay, so he picked up 2 warnings, both on lap 3.
Ooh.
So from lap 3...
Hey, he's had a good run.
He hasn't had anything.
25 laps of no penalties. That's a good job from Stuart Little. As we see, this is Henry Rogers. He's got the ERS and... Oh, no, he's got just the DRS now. He doesn't use the battery up the back straight here. Ted Wardo having a strong race, finishing he's P8 at the moment. Yurtis just outside the points. Henry Rogers gets a nice run up the front straight, goes up the inside of Ted Wardo. Oh, they bang wheels. Ted Wardo not giving it up without a fight. Exotic's in there on his soft tyres in the Williams. So Henry Rogers inherits P8. Ted Wardo drops down to P9. Henry Rogers does get a time penalty though. Tiny Darspike in P11. So as you pointed out earlier, Van Rocco, that looks like Tiny Darspike might just break his run of point scoring races. So this will be the first time since round 1 Australia that he might not get points. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. All right, well, up 29 of 35. We're coming towards the end of this one. It's going to be interesting as everyone crosses the line because of so many time penalties. But on track, as we speak at the moment, it's Dommy Lee from Kachow, who's 3 seconds ahead of Stein in P3. Ted Wardo going...
minute, from maths, Stein is P2. Yeah.
Yep.
No, he's not. There's literally 2 tenths.
Oh, sorry. Henry Rogers had a big moment there at turn 1. Oh, and Will's hit him. Oh, that's really unlucky for Will. So Henry Rogers
did he rejoin the track really unsafely?
Yeah, so Henry Rogers had a big moment at turn 1, locked it up, went across the grass, came onto the track, and then Will just collected him after turn 2. So that was that was absolutely bad luck from for Will there. Unfortunately, so that he was just minding his own business. And he's just Henry Rogers kind of just came out of the nowhere.
Well.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a dangerous re-entry from Henry Rogers, but we'll leave that for the stewards to decide. As we see Exotic making the move up the inside of the hairpin turn on Ted Wardo. So it's going to be a sprint up the back straight now, and Ted Wardo's not giving it up. Exotic's got a little bit of battery. Oh no, he's hit him. Oh, he's almost turned him around. He's ghosted out. So, okay, so no one's had any damage there either. All right, Tiny Darspike making the move up the inside of Ted Wardo. So he's going to lose 2 positions. He does. So Tiny Darspike's able to get that sorted. Henry Rogers picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Yeah, so Tiny's got 17 seconds of time penalties. Dace has 15. Henry Rogers has 20, so he's having a very rough race today. But yeah, at the front, I'll leave the math stuff up to you because I was terrible at maths.
Working it out.
Yep.
Yeah, I am as well. Working it out at the minute, Stein is penalty corrected 2 tenths behind Dommy Lee, and he is bang on the Kachow. So there's basically 2 tenths separating the top 3.
Wow. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting.
Stein Zapp is now taking the lead. Stein Zapp is now in the lead. Time penalty corrected.
Time penalty corrected. Yep, yeah, okay, beautiful.
I was keep an eye on that time delta now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw Mark Kenya, I think, scored the fastest lap. Tosta Kaba scored a 3-second time penalty. So where's he? He's down in P6. So does Ted Wardo. Tiny Darspike able to move past Exotic up the front straight here into turn 1. It's been a lot of overtaking today, I have to admit. It's been really good on this particular track as well, where overtaking's not always conducive to the racing, as you see Williams having to pit for that wing replacement after his incident with Henry Rogers.
The hairpin's been a good spot for it as well, hasn't it? Hairpin's been probably the best spot for overtaking.
Yeah, and turn one as well, we've seen quite a few going to turn one. Obviously, the Henry Rogers, I know we don't do overtake of the day, but that's my overtake of the day, the lunge at the hairpin. Who was it? It was on Williams. Those two have had
bad blood now.
Yeah, they've had a few incidents today. Alright, so Exotic not letting Tiny Darspike get away here as he heads up the hairpin. So it's lap 33 of 35. It's Dommy Lee still in the lead on track. It's 1.3 seconds as we're watching Exotic make a run on Tiny Darspike up the back straight, and he does. So goes through the turn 13, 14 without any incident. So he's able to move up into P7. So that's on track at the moment. We'll have to wait for penalties after the race. But yeah, so it's 1.3 second gap between Kachow and Dommy Lee. And then it's Stein, who's a further 3.4 seconds behind him. Yeah, Holmes, I don't think Holmes is going to pit again. So he tried to make the one stopper. What was he going? A medium to soft, which is just insane to even think about. Is Markham Kenya ghosted out, possibly? I'm not too sure. I saw a ghosted.
Yeah, ghosted.
Yep. Kelly Robb receives.
No, he's being lapped though. He's being lapped.
Yep. So Kelly Robb got a 3-second time penalty. He's down in P11 at the moment. The gap has come down to less than a second between Kachow and Dommy Lee.
Kachow must have heard my quick maths. He's now put his foot down. He's closed that gap very quickly.
Yeah, he's just 8 tenths now between him and Dommy. So it's lap 34 of 35. This is pretty much the closest battle on the track. We'll stay with these guys until the end. Tiny Darspike and Exotic are battling it out, but that's P7, P8. But yeah, we'll focus on these two. Let's have a look at penalties. Yeah, so Dommy Lee with the 8 seconds of penalties. So Kachow will just want to be, get it home, no more penalties, and let the sort of the cards fall where they may.
Yeah, but Stein has just closed in within a second of Kachow. He's not closed within this. He's got a second on him.
Honesy just received a 3-second time penalty as well. So he has, penalty-wise, he has 9 seconds. 9 seconds worth of penalties. Dace has 15.
This is going to be very close. This is going to be...
Stein just got one.
He's just thrown away the win. Stein has thrown away the win.
Well, in saying that then... So it's... okay, so this is... Pretty much Kachow is winning on time penalty corrected results, as we see Mark Kenya pick up another time penalty there at the moment. So this is looking like a win for Kachow as they head across the... where are they? They're almost halfway through the lap already of the final lap. It's looking like Kachow's going to... Yeah, looks like Kachow's going to... Alright, so we'll get to Mark Kenny's down P17 at the moment, so it's not going to have any bearing on the results. So it's going to look like it's Dommy Lee who had a good qualifying. These guys qualified P1, P2. Dommy Lee's had a good solid race, but he's got the rough end of the stick with the penalties. He's going to take the on track win. Congratulations to Dommy Lee. But once penalties have been corrected out, it's going to be Kachow who'll take the win. So let's see where it all shakes out now. So Stein comes home in a solid third at the moment. I say he's going to keep that position because Honesy has penalties. He's being chased by Dace at the moment. So Dace he has a ton of penalties at the moment as he turns it around as he crosses the line. So here comes Exotic and Tiny Darspike. Oh, Tiny Darspike gets a massive handful of oversteer there. Just waiting for them all to... Tiny Darspike dropping down. Ted Watto's in P8 at the moment. Yurtis, he's finished P9 on track. So Yurtis gets points again. Can Kelly Robb get points? No, he doesn't. So it looks like that's our top 10 have been settled. Yeah, it is. So 5-second unserved time penalty for Henry Rogers. So yeah, Yurtis 2 weeks in a row gets points. Well done to him. So it was Kachow whose time corrected win. So congratulations to Kachow. Domi, Lee and Stein is our podium. Well done to those guys. Good race. That was exciting. There was obviously a lot of penalties throughout. Exotic driver of the day. So Cody's driver of the day. We'll see how the votes pan out for the on the Discord for the driver of the day for the league. What did you think of that one, Van Rocco?
That was a very good race, as you said. It was very technical, strategic, and lots of overtaking. It was lots of everything, wasn't there? Throughout the whole field. It wasn't just the front, it was the whole lot.
Yeah, we had close racing at the front. This has also spiced things up a little bit championship-wise too, so especially between P2, P3, P4, so the 3 guys on the podium there. So that will be interesting to see how that all works itself out. So yeah, great race. I was quite entertained throughout. It really flew by. That's usually a good sign of a entertaining race. So it's Kachow from Domi, Lee and Stein. That's our podium. Honesy in 4th. Toss the Cable. We didn't see too much of him, but he had a solid 5th. So well done to Toss. Dace with another solid result. His fellow American Exotic in P7. Ted Wardo, good to see him get points for Racing Point. And Yurtis 2 weeks in a row. So well done to Yurtis. It's then after that, Stuart Little, Kelly Robb, Will Ans, Juan, Henry Rogers, Sam Spaniel, Delta Lima, Mark of Kenya, Zandvoort, and Stu in the Huss, finishing P20. So good race again. That was entertaining. So I think we've said everything that we need to say about today's race. Where are we next week? Let me get it. We're not in Brazil. We're in, where are we? Current roster. We're in Japan. Suzuka. Love Suzuka. Great track. All right. So that will be round 14 next week. We will be in Japan. Suzuka. So thank you for everyone for joining us. Hopefully you can join us next week. I dare say we'll be back to full qualifying. Hopefully next week. Van Rocco, do you have any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, just a great race. You know, there's going to be a few incidents, but that's always going to pick up on a street track like Canada.
Yeah.
No, I thought that on the whole, very clean race, very fast. Like I say, fight at the top, fight in the middle, fight at the back. It was a great race to watch. Yeah,
it was good, very entertaining. So thank you once again for everyone for joining us. Good luck for you tomorrow, Van Rocco, in the Switchback Formula Racing League. If you haven't seen The Notebook yet, you need to watch it. It's entertaining as it gets with the predictions, and the host is pretty good as well. The graphics are excellently done by Delta Lima. I even make an appearance in there as well. So if you haven't done so, check it out. But until then, we'll see you next time. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.